We are back in the world of Create Automated, and today it is time for us to sort out our power system, because I don't want to just chuck down water wheels and call it a day. Until we've made this little power station, all we're using for power is hand cranks, because I don't want to be lazy and just chuck water wheels down. As you would have seen in the first episode, if you're watching this without watching the first episode, then why are you here? It's the wrong way around to do everything, and also my skin is on the wrong. Anyways, yeah, we've got the nether portal here, and I fixed our mining machine mishap at the very end, which was a little bit funny. If you know how mining machines work, then this must have annoyed you very much when I started making it the first time without realizing. But for now, I don't necessarily have an idea in mind for how this is going to work or be made. I just know that it is going to go across this whole valley here. We're going to need a lot of stone-related blocks. I probably want to build some of it out of andesite as well. And you know the best way for us to get stone-related blocks right now is a nice little bit of mining. Okay, we are done with our mining trip. I've got plenty of spoils in here. However, we need a quick and easy way to cook them, and whilst I was trying to sort out the area, I actually removed the lava here, so I need to go and fetch some lava. If you know how Create works, you likely already know what I'm about to do. And I know I said, oh, I'm not going to use any water wheels before I make my power station with the dam, but I'm also not spending 50 million coal and 50 million years waiting for my ores to smelt. So, you know, you win some, you lose some, and at the end of the day, everyone lies. So we need a propeller. How do we get a propeller? 4 iron sheets, 1 andesite alloy. 1, 2, 3, 4. I already have 1 andesite alloy, but I believe I'm going to need more than that. Alright, now we can get our propeller and our encased fan. I believe to make 1 water wheel is like that. Yep, it should be as simple as water wheel goes there. We break out an area for the water itself to go. We need to place the water this way, cover that up. Put the encased fan there, now it is blowing up. And then it should be as simple as putting that there. Get a depot. It should be as simple as just chucking any ores I have on here. But if I also go there, I think it'll burn me. But let's, for example, get a stack of our raw iron. And now you can see that's smoking, so let's quickly head to sleep whilst that cooks. Anyways, with that cooking, I shall show you the other goods we got. Although I do have 17 diamonds now, I'm not going to be using any diamonds anytime soon. I'm only going to be using things as I need them. It's just I can't necessarily just leave them there, otherwise I will forget them. And that advancement tells me that this has worked. Yep, everything over here is cooked. I'm hoping if I just chuck multiple things on here, will that iron also cook? No, it doesn't look like it based on the particles. I think I really wanted to, I could get a dropper on there, a hopper connected to it, and then it automatically put it onto the depot once it's done. But would that just be a waste of iron? Yeah, probably. And yeah, this should hopefully give us all of the things we need to be able to build the dam, because if I also show you our little machine here, we've got a bunch of cobblestone, diorite if we want that, andesite, deep slate, tough, and even more andesite and cobblestone in here. Okay, and with our newfound riches, I first must make sure I've got some cobblestone cooking into stone on here first. Gonna need a lot more than this, actually, but you know, one stack at a time with the way I've set this up. And then with our riches, as I was saying, I can take my backpack off and I can upgrade it using our iron and our gold, which will mean I'll be able to bring our building resources with us all the way to where we're building the dam. And I say all the way as if it isn't 20 blocks away from where I am right now. I mean, this house can probably stay here for like the rest of time, but there will be another building connected to the dam, which will read all the power, tell me how much I've got in there, and it will also be the main like distribution place of the power. Spend some time looking at this lovely little depot with its encased fan underneath. And I'm just going to be cooking a bunch of cobblestone into stone and some of that into smooth stone as well. So we've got a bunch of the blocks that I started smelting in my inventory. I definitely need to get the ingots out of it. We've got a bunch of stone and some smooth stone as well. And you might be wondering, well, you're just going to use normal smooth stone? Nope, I'm going to be using smooth stone bricks, which are added by my own mod. And, you know, I just thought they'd be a nice block to use at the top. And then I'll probably use smooth stone tiles as the little walkway for it. I do still need to choose the exact location the dam is going to go. It looks like it might go from there up to here, but that doesn't mean it's going to be like a little bit straight. Okay, you know what, let's try do a curve one. We'll do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And then we'll do like 1 block forward. Okay, and then let me go to the other side and start counting. So it's not going to be like fully curved at all, it's just not going to be straight, which is, I think, the best option. Because if it's straight, then it's just going to look boring, basic, and, you know, what was the point in doing any of it? I think we'll keep it like that with a little bit in front. Maybe we remove 2, so it makes the central 110. So I've done the basic outline of the front of the dam here. It has a little curve that goes forward and then goes around. We've got some smooth stone brick walls on the edges as well. And then under it, as the floor, we've got polished stone. And then when you figure out the way that it's going to come downwards, I don't want it to come downwards in a like a straight down way, because I'm pretty sure most dams don't do it like that. And I've got a little mod on the Modpack that lets me open this little book and a drawer, so I can show you my thought process. The way I'm thinking of this working is, obviously we've got the top of the dam here where it like goes inwards like that and then goes back down like that, and then it'll go down, it'll go a little bit forward, down, a little bit forward, down. And then these little bits here are where the walls show up on each area. The walls are a good indicator of where water's going to come out of the dam. So then the water will come from a few blocks downwards, and it'll be around here on these markings. There'll be areas for water to come out of, and they will just flow down little ridges into the water at the bottom like this. And if you're wondering how is there going to be any power coming from this, right where the water comes out there will be large cogwheels, and then on the inside of the dam is where the magic truly happens, which is where there will be a bunch of windmills giving power, which does mean I'm going to need a sheep farm, which, you know, sucks to suck, I guess. We're going to stick with the large cogwheels now, and then that will be in the next episode, will be the one where we get a sheep farm, and then we can completely power our dams. But this is obviously going to take some time. This is going to be quite a long episode to record. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And I've got the next little section done. It might look a little bit confusing right now. As it is, it's going to be lighter at the top, and then it's going to get darker as it goes down, because as a whole, that just looks better gradient-wise anyways. There is definitely some extra smooth stone that needs to be put on the layers over more this side, because it is a bit uneven with the amount on this side compared to that side. But other than that, I think that's pretty good for that layer. And then I think the next one is going to go down to maybe tough area, probably like cobblestone tough. For now is 100% sleepy time. I do have the slight worry as well, but I am running out of food. It does make sense because I haven't been farming any. It's not something you want to be facing with when you're trying to focus on building something. For now, with the area that's actually going to house the water wheels and the water done, I'm going to focus on that instead. So I'm going to get some cobblestone from in here because we're going to use that on the inside where the water's going to be sitting, and where the water wheels are going to go over, simply because it's not going to be seen from the outside anyways. And then we're also going to need a bunch of andesite alloy because it's all going to be large water wheels in there, meaning I'm going to have to get my mechanical saw. I'm going to have to take one of the hand cranks and get a bunch of wood. There is a tiger forest over here. I think I'll be heading over here and using the wood from over here, especially because there is a slight big one over here, which means I can destroy those trees and get a lot more wood a lot quicker, whilst also being very far out of my way. In the last episode, I did also ask for names for my wolf. Currently, the first episode has only been out for about 5 or so hours. I don't know, I can't count all the wolves, not wolves, foxes, but 5 or so hours, so there obviously is not very many comments of names on them. But yeah, whilst we're here, we can get a lot of wood. We can also see a bit further this direction of what sort of areas there are, which seems to be a lot more ice. There's a shipwreck down here, and there's also a continuation of the tiger. So hey, if I wanted a area to do a lumberyard, it's probably not this way because I don't think a lumberyard in a tiger forest would look very nice. I think I would want it to just be in a normal forest. Well, from that short adventure, we got 4 stacks of spruce logs. We found 1 singular pumpkin and a bunch of sweet berries, which is a nice small solution to our food issue. So I'm going to place a bunch of berries around here, and using Farmer's Delight, I searched we can actually combine 1 sweet berry with 2 wheat to get 8 sweet berry cookies. Although they do very small saturation and hunger, that is still 8 cookies for 1 sweet berry. So how many water wheels are we going to need on this dam? 1, 2, 3, 4, 15, 16. We're going to need 16 water wheels. So let's head into here. We're going to need to make 16 of these small ones first, and then we can make 16 large water wheels, which are quite big, to say the least. So we're gonna head into the dam, and we're gonna find the correct positionings for these. It's likely gonna be, it's going to be the easiest way we can get them in there, whilst also having the water go over and out of the hole. And now we've placed all of the blocks that we need to for now. We can even have this cobblestone path stay in here because this back wall will stay perfectly fine along the edge of it, so we can easily access the inside just in case something somehow goes wrong. Or we can just add some sneaky extra large water walls in here. Obviously, as I said before, there will also be windmills in here that will go sideways, and I think that should make enough power if I can get a full length windmills, multiple of them along the bottom down here. And then obviously there'll be another dam on the other side which will pretty much mimic this one. Which is something I have just realized as well. If the water's going down this here, that means I also need to dig out the whole area down here so when it goes into the river. Or I'm going to have to thin down this area, which I'd much rather not do, because 16 water wheels by itself is not that much. It is fine for, like, because we know that we are adding windmills in here and there'll be double this amount. But overall, for the time between sorting those things out, it is not very much, and we are going to need quite a bit of power. Alright, I've made a few changes up there that I think have made it look a decent amount better. We've got a lot less polished stone going around the top there, which I think makes it look a bit cleaner. I've increased the length of the water by 1 block, so it looks a bit more full as it's coming out, which makes a bit more sense to me. But obviously, as you can tell, it's going to look a little bit worse right now because I still need to break some of the dirt down there, and obviously we've only got the top bit done. We've still got at least 4 more sections to go. 1 there, 1 there, and then, I mean, under the water it's not going to really be that difficult. It's going to be building straight up from the bottom, but still, we're not even halfway through this yet. Which is depressing because I've recorded the same amount of time for the first episode for this one so far. Whoops. I interrupt our building time to address a very, very serious issue. And that is that we only have one bread left. We are very low on food, and we can't really do much if we don't have food. So instead of focusing on the dam like the original plan was, I'm going to have to make a little automatic food farm out of what we have here. I think the plan is going to be a very, very simple mechanical bearing harvester spin around on a water wheel type setup. And that is perfectly fine because it's going to be loaded constantly anyways because I put it on 32 chunks because I'm that cool. But that does mean we're going to have to change this whole area. We might need a little bit more room, or we can just chuck it here. This whole, like anything we build here other than this building, because I think we're just going to preserve this for memory's sake, it's just going to be temporary, so it doesn't matter how it looks right now, I think. We need a mechanical bearing. No, that's a windmill bearing. We could do a windmill bearing, can't we? We seem to only have one wall, so we're going to be doing a mechanical bearing, which requires us to get a slab. And then we go up here, mechanical bearing. We're going to need another water wheel to put under it. We can spruce planks as the blocks on it. We have a spare backpack, which I think I'll use for storage on the actual machine, because we can upgrade it to iron. We can upgrade it to gold, which will give us a lot of room. And then we need the actual harvesters, which requires andesite casing, 4 andesite alloy, and a bunch of iron sheets, which means we need more andesite alloy, which of course we do. We've got another bit of painful mixing to get to then from the seams of it. And now with this, we need to get our water wheel in down here. We'll place water there. Mechanical bearing will go there. And make sure we hold right click on this, and then we do only place on anchor destroyed, just so it doesn't destroy any of the wheat that we put down. We'll put that there, and then do this. I think we only actually need 4. We glue all of these together like that. And then if we right click this, should start turning. Yep. It works on sweet berries as well, and leaf litter. Oh, anyways, we're now going to get an iron hoe. You can see a very clear radius. 1, 2, 3, 4. And there we have it. A nice little spinning farm that will hopefully yield us a lot of wheat. And then I put the sweet berries a bit further over here. And then I think we're going to keep with our sweet berry cookies simply because they're faster to eat. And you get more than you get from if I was to make bread. And I guess we'll leave it to do its own thing and kill the skeleton. Speaking of skeletons, I had many suggestions for the name of the wolf, which I am actually going to get the video up now and go through them. I've got 3 options to go through. The first one, posted by Ghostro, was Cult, and then the second one, posted by Unequal, was Bart, and then the third one was posted by my wife, which means I'm kind of legally required to choose as one for the first animal I name, which is Ralph. So I guess we are calling this wolf Ralph, and then I guess we'll find something for someone to name this episode. Maybe the dam needs an official name, and then I can ignore my wife next episode. I think that sounds like a good idea. It's pretty easy to ignore. And then I need to refresh my mind about what we are doing over here, because I recorded that last bit before the farm like 2 days ago. So we're doing the dam. We need to mine out a bit of an area down the side here, so then we can actually do it all the way, and down that side as well. So I think I'm going to block off the water and dig those bits out, because I think if I place these here now, it won't waterlog. Yep. And then we can waterlog these later on. which doesn't mean I think the water wheels will stop working, but I'll figure out something to do with it. Now for digging this bit, I guess we need to dig it all the way down, and then it's okay if that bit comes out a bit. We just need the dam to be able to go all the way down on the sides, which means if it's going down one block here, then we need to dig from here all the way to probably about here, and then we can try and smooth out a bit manually ourselves. So for now, I'm going to focus on mining this out. Click the lovely little start recording button on replay mod, which I'm now using, and yeah, once this has been all dug out on both sides, I will return. Now, both sides having their respective little areas dug out. That was not a little area to dig out, by the way. It is time to figure out our next steps for this dam, which I did a little bit of thinking. I think I'm going to continue a little bit of a polished stone, and I guess see if stone bricks works well with it. I don't think stone bricks works well with the polished stone texture that I've made. But we'll see how that works. We'll continue that down, and then we'll move to some cobblestone related blocks because I've got a lot of those. So I guess if vanilla stone bricks don't work, I can find something else. I mean, there's sheared cobblestone, which looks somewhat good. I think pulverized might work well with my polished stone. That might work. I don't understand why there's a double white line there. But I think that's going to be the way I go with it. Meaning, once again, I need to cook more stone, cobblestone into stone. So I think for now, my best option is going to be to remove that depot. And then the best way I can think of being able to put multiple things on there is just get a trap door and then just put that there. Let's throw 4 stacks there. Yeah, they're all going to cook. That's good. If I don't like it connecting, then I'll just remove the connecting and I'll put it without the connector textures, I guess. Change of plan. I should actually be finding stone type blocks instead because they will work better with my polished stone. So I was thinking large stone tiles might work with them. So if I get large stone tiles, put them down. Yeah, they are very, very similar, but they will work better. And then I guess cobblestone's a lighter block than polished stone, meaning the best option is going to be to remove all that polished stone and start a cobblestone base layer now and do polished stone a bit further down, which is definitely going to be a pain, but if I want this to look good, then it's going to have to be painful. Because this is meant to be a transition into the next layer down, whilst also like it's supposed to be like a clearer transition from up here because of water damage. However, the actual structure itself does have its own little transition going on. So this will be 1, and then we need to figure out our way down 5 blocks. It would be here, and here is where we would want, yeah, polished stone and large stone tiles here. Should be the pulverized cobblestone on the sides. And then the large stone should be where the water goes down. We won't do it the exact same way as it has been done above it, simply so it has a little bit of variation going on. And then I guess we'll go sheared cobblestone and pulverized cobblestone for the area down, which I think the pulverized cobblestone should go under the smooth stone to allow way for the sheared cobblestone in the center to come in. So the dam itself is actually finished now. However, as you can see, we still have the little areas on the side there we still have to dig out, and we also have an area on the side there to dig out just to make it fit in a bit more. And then we'll have to place some blocks to make it look a bit better. And then obviously the other side of the dam is not done at all. However, I think I'm going to do that with schematics. Either in between episodes or the beginning of next episode, you'll see me schematic that in, and then I guess I'll just have to fill this area with water and then the dam will be complete. Some good news before I do very quickly dig out this area is that next episode there'll be a whole lot more time for me to do things. So I have completed one side of trying to make it look a little bit more natural, whereas that side is going to be very, very annoying to dig out. And I may as well dig it out all the way around to where that corner is, because then it will actually look completely natural as part of the river. Obviously I'll have to dig out a little bit down there, but that will be fine. So I realized, why not just reuse our... Why do I need two? Did the creeper destroy all of the drills? The creeper destroyed a bunch of drills. Okay, well I've only got 9. I was aiming to have a bit more than 9. I was aiming to be able to do a 4x4 drill. Fine, I guess I'll continue making andesite alloy. That's the only thing that's stopping me. There we go. Let's make 5 casings. We'll make our 5... Oh, why not 5 more? I need 3 more. That's why. We'll make our 3 more drills, and then what we need is this rope pulley that we found before. We'll get these chests, and how much time is left in the day? More than enough. We can head over here. I'm gonna have to mine these trees manually because I didn't... Nope, I'm not mining a mass tree manually. I also forgot a hand crank anyways, so let's get the saw. Let's get a hand crank. And I think that should be everything for what we need right now. Alright, we've cleared out the trees that we needed to up here, and now from this point, I don't think I'm going to do a 4x4 drill, actually. I think I should be fine putting a rope pulley there. We can do 3x5. We'll do 3x5 then. Connect that up, and then if we connect the chest to the top, any items of these drills break will go straight into them. And now if I use the hand crank, it should go down and break all of the blocks. And then I just have to do that another like 5 more times, so I'll be back once all of that is done finally. And then I've made it look a little bit nicer, and then the dam will be done on this side at least. Yay! And after spending a bunch of time drilling out the side of the dam area there, I suppose I'd call it, I have finally cleaned it all up, and now this side of the dam at least is completely finished. That took very, very long to build this one side of the dam. We still have to build the other side, fill up with water and all of those things. However, that's going to be a whole lot easier now that we've got this one side, and it also will be just 5 minutes at most of next episode, and then we'll get on to the next thing that we need to do. But that does mean that is the end of this one, and I'm trying to figure out something that I want people to name, and the only thing I can really figure out is the dam itself. There will be 2 dams, so if you can come up with a name for 2 dams, then that'd be great, or you can come up with a name that involves both of them. So if you come up with a name for that, then put it below, and thank you for watching. Bye.